What is up, sweaty gamers? Hope you're all doing well. If you don't recognize us, this is Nick, my co-host, and I'm Jake. We're bringing you guys a brand new series each and every week called the Respawn Recap, kind of a laid-back, natured show where we talk about the top 4, 5, 6 stories of the week. So, brought to us by our new partners over at Respawn. Big things coming soon, and you might recognize this if you're Barstool fans like the Rundown, a similar like show. So, Nick, you ready to get into this?
Yes.
Let's roll it. All right, so the first topic this week, everybody, if you guys are not Call of Duty fans, we have the good old gentleman's agreements in Call of Duty that we're well aware of. You're a COD fan yourself.
Yes, I am.
And GAs are meant not to be broken, but they're also not established in the rule set. So this past weekend was actually pretty controversial. Crimsix comes out on stream and says that apparently at CDL London, we have the Chicago Huntsman, formerly composed of, I would say, the bulk majority of the former Optic. That's Scump and Formal, so with it, bring the diehard fans. He calls them out and actually proves during their last series they broke a gentleman's agreement not to run more than 2 stunts. They ran 3. Pretty freaking crazy.
3 stunts.
But albeit, you know, when it comes time for professional play, according to Crimsix as well, plenty of pro teams are mad at them. And we have this now debate with the community backing up the former Optic boys of Scump and Formal and the new Huntsman lineup with Hector still running things over there. And so I guess the general topic has been, if this was any other team, how things would have ran down probably would have been a bit different from the Huntsman breaking rules. You know, if any other team breaks the rules, everyone's up in a roar, but this being the Huntsman and it being kind of they had a pretty good reasoning to do so. RC's now responded, apparently, if you saw the COD event, things were really rushed. Time on the stage was really rushed. Players were doing a bunch of things back and forth, and so that's why they didn't have time to set up their classes correctly.
That is literally why? It was purely because of, like, setup time and it wasn't? Okay. All right, that's respectable, I suppose. I
mean, if you're going to blame one thing right now and get away with it, you're probably going to blame people like Activision or blame the league in some way. We've seen it. And so in terms of an excuse, I would say it's actually a fair one. It's kind of funny to see, though, that if any other team did this, I don't know if they'd be given the same leniency as anyone else.
Absolutely not. I mean, when it comes to like a gentleman's agreement, you know, I feel like that's something you just kind of have to respect it. You're like, I don't know. I understand they didn't have the time for it, but I mean, I don't want to blame Activision for not giving me 5 more seconds to add another stun grenade.
Yeah, and hopefully things will be fixed in the future. Again, I don't think it was that big of an issue. And again, time constraints will probably be fixed as well as they've reduced some other things at the event. Either way, Huntsmen get away with breaking a GA, which we're not going to see many other teams get away with. I don't got no qualms with it. I'm just saying, you don't break a gentleman's agreement.
It happens. You don't break a gentleman's agreement. Listen to this man.
Nick, you're not going to know about this too much. If you guys don't know, Nicky was sicky this week.
I was a sicky boy.
And so we actually had some controversy in the CSGO scene, which I love the CSGO scene. I love the drama because we don't really see it too often compared to the likes of Call of Duty. We have Thorn. Thorn now popping off. He's known for hot takes, right? No one's out there lying and kind of trying to say, oh, he's usually lighthearted. He always does this kind of stuff, right? And people respect him for it. People target it for him. If you guys do not know, he's now the creative director for Flashpoint League. It was actually announced this week that ESL now has 24 teams established, 13 of which are signed for long-term contracts. 10 of the top 10 CSGO teams signed with ESL, not with Flashpoint. Thorn now going off on Twitter about, you know, the likes of Astralis and other teams maybe partially committing to both leagues, mainly talking about Astralis. I'm going to ask you this, Nick. Astralis, in their business mindset, according to Thorn's words, they were actually fielding offers from both ESL and Flashpoint. They made some sort of commitment. We're not sure if it's contractual. Obviously not if Astralis is getting away with it to Flashpoint. They backed out for potentially a better offer with ESL. So what do you take from this? You got a team out there trying to search for their best offer. Obviously Thorn upset by that. But what would you do in their shoes?
I mean, you know, business is business, and I feel like when you're going with ESL, business is booming.
No. I mean, you're not. The thing is, we laugh, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
ESL can. I don't know if you saw our story as well. ESL can frick over 24 teams with this new league. But you know, like you said, business is booming. You go where the money is. You go where the business is. You're going to see lots of back and forth. I think both sides do make their fair points. When it comes time for Astralis, still fielding offers from both leagues, can I knock them? You know, would I not do the same? I have no idea. You know, money's money, and money drives a lot of decisions out there.
Unfortunately, that is like the way it is, and I mean, you just gotta understand from like a business perspective, and that's always the way I'm thinking about it when it comes to esports, because that's kind of the drive behind esports. And you know, it's like, from my understanding of the whole Thorin situation, you know, it's kind of just like a shaky topic, and it's not something that I would really. I'm not comfortable enough about it because I don't know the whole story. However, I don't want to make any takes on it for that reason.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely two sides, and
Yeah.
if you're gonna take one, you got to fully back it.
Yeah,
I'm not taking a full
I'm gonna
side
chill
either.
on this one.
Thorin, you do you. Astralis, you do you. This will not be the last time we see this kind of controversy. Right down your alley, League of Legends. You know, the game that we don't really cover, we're trying to get into. It's kind of funny to see all the different outlets out there cover their specific games. We're trying our best, and we need more drama like this. A story that I actually was covering, I want to say close to a year and a half ago when they first started. This is I was going to say undefeated. The opposite. It's a winless. It's a Unvictus lineup out there who went 0-28 across 2 splits in the LCL. That's the CIS for any CS:GO fans out there, and they've now officially been kicked out of the league. This is a tough one to cover, okay? Whenever we cover any female story out there, I can expect comments. And the more I say, don't leave these comments, the more comments we get. We get a lot of rude comments out there. I would say this decision, though, overall, nay or yay? I mean,
that's a yay for me. Like, them being female does not
influence
change
your
anything.
choice.
Yeah, like they went 0-28. It could be an all-male team, and they could be some of the best players in the world, but they went 0-28. So it's like there's a place to be, and them going 0-28, I don't think they're in that place.
Yeah, I mean, it is very obvious, just like Shanghai Dragons, right? Was at the time they were at least a far majority male roster, and they got the most crap we've ever seen of any team. You imagine if this was a male roster, they would get as much, if not more hate, albeit though Vivictus is getting a ton of hate, and I don't like that. I hope this starts a movement for other esports programs, have female rosters. I think Vivictus might have some in like PUBG Mobile, female rosters as well. But this goes both ways, right? This is all male, all female. If this is 5 dogs playing together, you're gonna get bashed if you go 0-28, and the margin of losses the disparity was not even close. I respect Riot as they try and approach the more franchise league model. If you lose this much, by this much, you should not, like you said, be in this league. So I think it was a good choice. It's a tough thing to see, but hopefully they can bounce back and we'll see female rosters in other offsets of esports. So earlier we touched on mainly the Astralis situation, right? Thorin pretty much calling out Astralis. Astralis CEO did call him a liar. I'm sure we'll go back and forth a bit on that in the future as well. This one also CS:GO fans, hello, my loves. We talk about kind of the other side of things, that being ESL versus Flashpoint. I know you at least follow the Counter-Strike scene as well. I tend to steal those stories from you, but when it comes to franchise leagues for 2020, we have 3. We got Blast, we got Flash, we got ESL. Flashpoint, ESL, they overlap each other, so they're not technically exclusive, but you guys know what they're doing, all right? We're not stupid. And now we have this battle back and forth. ESL have announced 24 teams. 10 of the top 10 are all in ESL. Flashpoint so far has 6 teams. I would say a majority NA rosters, and a majority of which are not even inside the top 15, top 20. I think the numbers are out with those. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And we definitely have people defending Flashpoint, saying they got a good chance because it's a new league, they got a good structure. But if you can't get the teams, does it really matter? I mean, because one last number for you. I think of the HLTV current top 30 teams, 22 are in ESL. And I think 4 are actually in Flashpoint. So when it comes to top teams, it's not even close. The question being at hand, did ESL actually kill Flashpoint before Flashpoint even started?
So obviously, this kind of being out of my topic of expertise right here, because I have not been here as well. But I will say something with Thorin's backing should have some sort of chance of just taking off in the first place. However, when it comes to teams, like not being able to capture the biggest teams for your tournaments, I feel like it could kind of also give a chance to other teams and other things to make their way up. And I don't know, I kind of respect the idea of it because for that reason, I like the thought of not only those same teams just sticking around like the CS:GO scene for the entire time, and maybe potentially some new up-and-comers that are kind of coming through Flashpoint instead of ESL or something. So I will say though that I don't think it killed it, but it like shot it in the leg, and he's like, ah.
So currently Flashpoint's wounded, but he's not mortally wounded yet. I like that point. I really do. But then all of a sudden, if you're a Flashpoint, you're hearing that, you're like, we don't want to be a a feeder league for all these
Yeah.
rising teams. Like, oh,
That's fair.
cool, we got number 42 in the world, and they're on the rise, and they're
Yeah.
playing every weekend if you want to watch them.
Also, a fair point.
I think
Yeah.
we'll see how it plays out. I definitely agree that Flashpoint has its advantages, and we'll see how they play out. But to your point again, if they can't lock down the teams, I hope some more stuff comes out as to why. There's got to be a reason why this many teams. And again, it might not be the player's choice in the end, but still, they did sign long-term commitments with ESL and not Flashpoint. So we got to wait till more comes out. But are they killed? No. Are they wounded pretty brutally? Yes. And next up, Nicholas. It's been all over. I think I haven't seen, but there's been over 300,000 tweets about a single tweet made by Ninja. I'm going to twist this one because I'm sure you've seen it by now, but with that being said, everyone's talking about this goddamn tweet, and no one's talking about the gosh darn clip that's out there about Ninja. And I don't know if you've seen the clip. I know you've seen the tweet as well, pretty much saying it's just a game. It's okay to get mad. There's so many back and forths because when he says, if you don't get angry, then you've already lost twice. I think people are really taking this to heart. In my own opinion, Pete behind the camera knows I'm biased, and I love my boy Ninja. But this one is hard to defend when you actually listen to the clip.
If anyone ever uses the excuse, it's just a game, I'm going to lose my mind. Imagine telling LeBron James, Tom Brady, that when they're pissed off after losing a game, that it's just a game. Like, I'm going to lose. Like, are you kidding me? You're so stupid. It's the competitive nature, bro. It's about respect, bro. It's about pride. It's so much bigger than a video game. And anyone that ever uses the excuse it's just a game is a horrible human being and is lazy.
We now have several pro players backing up Ninja saying, I love this mentality, whether it's for a lifestyle or a video game. You know, you should not be okay with losing. But to other people's point out there, when you watch the clip, he literally says, if you are okay with losing, you are a horrible and lazy person. If you say it's just a game, you're a horrible and lazy person. And I understand why people are taking that the wrong way.
So do I. I mean, I don't like the sentiment of being called a terrible person just for, you know, playing a video game and then losing in it and not getting angry at it, because I'm the type who never really wants to expend energy being angry when it's like it's something that's in the past and I can't go back in time and unlose the game.
It's tough because sometimes when I'm angry, I think I do things better. Other times when I'm angry, I think I do things a lot worse. Typically in gaming, when I'm angry, I suck. And I already suck as it is. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people somehow took this just so to heart. I don't think it was as bad as it's made out to be when you pick it apart. But I do understand the other side. When people, albeit the same people who are calling Ninja worthless and stupid, are so offended when that same worthless and stupid guy calls them a horrible person. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it's a touchy topic. I understand why people agree with him. I understand why people are against him. But at the end of the day, it's a 30-second clip. It's a 200-character tweet. Why are we taking it so seriously?
Yeah. He's just got some like hot takes that are just like, I feel like they're just hot for the sake of being hot. Like he's
Ninja's
just threw
hot
him on
for
the grill
sake
and
of being hot.
But it's like, I don't know. I can't really say I'm on the side of agreeing with getting angry. Obviously, yeah, some people function differently and have more motivation when they're angry. However, in my case, that is definitely not the case. However, I just don't like the idea of like potentially being, you know, just destructive or anything. It's like, obviously everyone gets different when they're angry, but it's like,
I'm not gonna. That's the problem. People like, there's mothers out there who just took his words and twist it to like destructive, and like I've seen some crazy responses so far. This woman went off, talked about her son like being abusive because he watched Ninja, and then after stopping, he stopped being abusive, and I was like, that's
okay,
even
that's
Pete
not what I was
even
trying to
Pete
say.
knows that's a freaking stretch. We understand where both sides are coming from.
Yes.
We don't have to take sides. That's the great part about it.
Even though I just did.
Anyway, we hope you guys all enjoyed, though, the first episode of the Respawn Recap, brought to us, of course, by Respawn. Some big things coming soon, and more chairs coming soon as well. If you guys could do us a favor, leave comments down below about stories you want us to cover here, and next time, when Nick is not sick for the entire week, we'll definitely have some more back and forth. We want this to be a laid-back show. You see us in our own personal habitats, being goofy and loving each other. And so we hope you guys all enjoy. Until next time, this is Nick. My name is Jake here with the Respawn Recap. And enjoy your weekends, nerds.
Yeah.